everybody. It's Vanessa, and you are here with us for another episode of Up to Your Ears. How's it going, Josie?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We have an awesome guest today, someone who's been in the music industry for a long time, consistently making music. Who's our guest today, Josie?
It's Kenneth Stringfellow. I think he goes by Ken.
Oh, which I have to say, I love that last name, Stringfellow. I have a thing about the word fellow.
Fellow.
Fun to say.
Fellow. We have a friend, a mutual friend, Greg Goodfellow.
There's something good about the name Fellow.
Yes. Well, Kenneth is known for, probably best known for playing in a band called the Posies. Yes.
I'll come around, so throw your faith into the highest rain, and you can take a walk and forget everything.
And he's also played with a little band called R.E.M. I think you guys have all heard of that band.
Maybe.
From Athens, Georgia.
I'll have to look it up.
Great music coming out of Athens. He's also produced records.
All right, let's welcome our guest, Ken Stringfellow of the Posies and lots of other bands. Welcome, Ken.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Ken.
Hi there.
Josie.
Yeah.
And
Vanessa.
Hi there.
Because we have you on as a guest, and I know that you're in France, I did wear my stripes just for you.
Oh, very nice.
And
because every Parisian walks around in stripes, right?
You'd be surprised actually how many people wear what we call a pull marin. Yeah, it is actually, the cliche is true there, yeah.
How about that? It's a good look, right?
It is a good look.
My chapeau.
Yeah, and beret, technically.
I do wear this actually all the time, but now my hair is gonna be messed up. Thanks, Ken.
Blame France.
Blaming you for her choices.
Yeah.
Do you speak French?
Oui, je parle français.
Ooh.
Oh, je parle français un peu.
Un peu, oui. J'habitais ici depuis 17 ans, quoi. Depuis 2003.
Mon père habite à Genève.
En Genève?
Oui.
Il est américain et suisse?
Et suisse.
Ah, cool.
Oui. Et mon sœur aussi habite à Genève aussi.
Wait, cool.
Yeah. So we got our little French lesson in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Espanol.
Also good.
When you live in Southern California, if you don't know some Spanish, you're in big, deep trouble, I think.
Yeah,
you're not going to get the good tacos for one thing. And just in general, if people are talking about you, should know the language.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I speak French a lot because it's a great way to talk about people in the room. When I'm, on the phone with my wife and say, il y a un connard là-bas, il est moche. All this kind of stuff. So you can talk about your day and nobody knows what the hell you're talking about, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
That's Josie.
don't cuss too much. My sisters watch the show, and
Are they very prim and proper?
Well, one of them kind of is. They would probably think it's very funny. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us.
Yeah.
And we've already kind of been talking about you. So
in English.
In English, yeah. Our viewers know a little bit about you if they didn't already. And we have a really super fun questionnaire that we have our guests participate in. And
since you're in France, we'll just start off with this one. Donuts or croissant?
Donuts or croissant? I've become a little blasé about croissant to some degree. So donuts are more exciting in a sense. I mean, there's certainly more variety to the donut world. I mean, croissant, you have croissant, chocolate croissant. If you're over in the German-speaking part of the world, they might put ham in it. That doesn't really happen in France. They have croissant aux amandes, the almond croissant, which is a very special breed and one I highly recommend. It's very, very special.
That's my
But that's pretty much it. I mean, then you're done with the exploration of croissant. But with the donut world, I mean, it's kind of like the cupcake world. It never ends. I mean, you can just go further and further and further into the outer reaches of the gamma quadrant of donuts, and you still would realize there's so much more to know.
Exactly.
Gamma quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get
Till
that
your eyes
message?
glaze over.
Which is,
Oh, yes.
what was your
Yes,
favorite
yes.
cartoon?
Honest, like I was really into all things like Charlie Brown and Snoopy. So I lived for when those specials would come on. When one of these specials or other types of like, seasonal specials, whatever, were coming on in the evening, they had this rotating graphic that said the word special, and it would like, do this thing. And there was a special, very percussive music that would go underneath it. And then you just started getting excited because, oh my God, we're leaving the normal primetime blasé world and we're going into, a new thing here, or a once in a year thing with it's Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, next question for you.
Yeah.
Beats or a melody?
Beats. I'm a huge fan. We have a farmer's market, what you would call a farmer's market, right around the corner. So every Wednesday, where I was this morning, and Saturdays, one of our providers there, one of the guys there, has a stall, and they have excellent beats. Melody's okay too.
Okay, all right. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to start a book club, what are 2 books that would be required reading prior to admission?
Oh my Lord.
This is a new question. I haven't heard this question before.
This is really, this is like school.
They would have already had to have read these books.
Oh, I have to find people who've already by chance read these books.
Yeah.
Well, that just sounds like work.
All right. How about this? Do you have a favorite book that you've ever read?
Favorite book that I've ever read. I have some books that I really, really love, and I would love everyone to know about.
Do tell.
So there's a writer, Tristan Egolf, who wrote 3 books in his short period of being around, and 3 brilliant books. And what's weird is he actually, his books got published here, and Lord of the Barnyard, Skirt and the Fiddle is the second one, and Corn Wolf with a K is the third one. And the thing I like about these books is there's a lot going on. They're humor novels, basically. They're kind of absurd. Well, no, they're patently absurd. Let's just get the kind of out of there. They do humor, even slapstick, which in prose is pretty hard to convey, extremely well. I mean, it's phenomenal writing that is, it's okay, there's David Foster Wallace and blah, 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 and I love his writing and blah, blah, blah. It's fantastic. It's, it's a very heady read. Of course, he can also be very funny too. This is just, I don't know, it's still quite erudite. In many ways, it will still satisfy your intellectual, need from literature. It doesn't insult your intelligence by any means. But it's more raucous and riotous, and it's very, very, very funny. And he played in a band and released a couple singles, etc. He did quite a few things in a short time, and then poof, he was gone.
Yeah.
I like learning. Mm-hmm. Excellent answer. I'll hand you over to our friend Josie now.
Oh.
All right, I have a few questions for you, Ken. What was the first concert that you remember ever going to?
Oh, I remember pretty much all of them, but I mean,
As a kid, your first one.
I didn't start doing the blackout drinking thing until I was over the age of 9. But
Okay, cool.
but anyway,
Thankfully.
yes, indeed. No, but seriously, folks, I went to a concert with my dad, and it's very strange. It's really an enigma that has persisted because my dad is not really a rock music listener. I mean, my dad listens to easy listening. He loves Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Johnny Mathis. You get the gig, the kind of stuff he's into, croonery stuff. I've never really understood what happened in 1978 when, of all things, we went with a couple of his friends to see Don McLean. And with special guest Juice Newton. I absolutely could not be more random. And
a couple hit songs, though. I totally remember Juice Newton.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, no doubt there was a valid musical experience. It's just I don't know what my dad was doing there. I'm 100% sure that my dad couldn't name a single Don McLean song. But there we were, and so that was my first concert. And I was, I was just starting piano, and I was like 9. Again, this is a lot of things happened when I was 9. But the first concert I went to by my own will was a few years later, living in the Northwest, and getting, by then I was playing in bands and really into music and whatnot, and buying my own records. And so at the age of 13, I went to see The Who with The Clash and T-Bone Burnett in Seattle.
That sounds mind-blowing. That the Clash are one of those bands that I always wish I could have seen. I love them so much, and that's just so cool. You got to see them. I've seen The Who. The Clash. Damn, that would have been amazing. Wow.
Yeah, The Clash. But now all I can do is sing "Playing with the Queen of Hearts."
Yes. Which is simply like the major key version of Running Down a Dream. I really think that Running Down a Dream and Play with the Queen of Hearts are like the mirror Spock of each other.
We're gonna have to put those back to back, Vanessa. Listen to them. Have a listening party. All right, Ken, if you happen to find yourself on death row, and no, not the record label death row, just like the real death row, what would your last meal be?
Cyanide.
Oh.
I'm done.
That's a pretty painful death.
Here's your fucking canoe, you assholes. Anyone remembers that stupid joke? My last meal. I don't know. I think, at that point, I think I would be like, donate my last meal to somebody who really needs it. That's a really sad question.
Yeah. Well, it's more like to get you to tell us what your favorite meal is.
Well, that would be a different question, wouldn't it?
It is. But it's
much less morbid.
Right. If everybody you knew and loved had died, and and cities were in flames, what music would you be listening to?
Moving along. Ken, you've played with so many people and have toured around the world and know a lot of musicians, but have you ever found yourself starstruck by another musician?
No,
that was amazing.
No, not really. I mean, things have kind of progressed, in logical steps. So I met some cool local musicians in Seattle first, and then things got a little bigger and just ran in an ever more interesting company. And I've played with one of the Beatles. I played with somebody from Led Zeppelin. I played with somebody from The Who. This kind of thing, it's all amazing, and I was really, really into it. But I kind of kept my cool. I'm sure there's, musicians who would be hard for me to not be a little starstruck by. I will say, I've pretty much joined like most of my favorite bands or played with some sector of most of my favorite bands, right? I mean, this is kind of, or artists or whatever. Really, and I've had so many amazing opportunities, and I've been a really, really lucky guy. And
That's awesome. So many people can't say that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So then at that point, there's more peers than.
Well, yeah, we can say this, but there's one musician, like one person and I have so many close connections to and close calls to or whatever, who I really, really admire. It's probably one of the biggest influences on my personal musicianship and songwriting, etc. And we've never met, and now I'm thinking it's one of those things. It's like certain bands I've tried to see, nothing fancy, whatever, and they just, whatever, there's always a thing, I always cancel, or suddenly I can't make it, or suddenly the babysitter gets sick and you have to rush back home, or whatever. Like I'll never see Bob Log III. I'm just convinced. I've tried to go see that guy in concert like 20 times, and each time something comes up. So I've just forget about seeing Bob Log III. I'll never see him. It just won't happen. But as far as like, this particular musician is Johnny Marr from the Smiths. I've seen the Smiths play. I've seen Johnny Marr play solo. And we have all these possibilities. A good friend of mine used to work for his management and blah, blah, blah. And I'm now like, I think that's the price for me, getting to, jam with Neil Young or all this kind of stuff, all good, but you have to give up something. There's a notion of sacrifice. And I've decided it's my karmic sacrifice that somehow I will never encounter Johnny Marr. So be it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's out there now. I've seen him live here in Austin, and wow, so great. He seems like he'd be such a cool dude.
Truly.
Yeah. But, he's your sacrifice, not mine. So maybe,
right.
We'll see.
I say we put it out in the universe, and now it's going to happen because he said it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would really, I was kind of kidding about it never happening, but I hold out, a small hope. We're both still alive, touch wood and whatnot. So you never know. There might be some surprises left.
Come around, so throw your fate into the highest rain, and you can take a walk and forget everything.